Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
In Excel, you can cut and copy data from one or more cells and paste the data into another section of cells. Cells that contain numeric or text entries can be copied and pasted wherever you want. The only trick is when you need to copy formulas. Normally, when you copy formulas and paste them to a new location in the workbook, the formula automatically adjusts its cell references to adjust to its new location. So for example, if you typed a formula into cell H5 that added cells C5 through G5, you could then copy and paste the formula into cell H6 by clicking on it, clicking the copy button in the standard toolbar, clicking the cell into which you'd like to paste it, and then clicking the paste button. In cell H6, the newly copied formula would then change its cell references to add cells C6 through G6. And this is an example of relative referencing. This is the default cell formula referencing that occurs when copying formulas. They will automatically adjust their cell references to fit their new location. Now when you cut and paste a formula in Excel, by selecting a cell, clicking the Cut button in the standard toolbar, selecting where you'd like to place it, and then clicking Paste, you can see that the formula will actually maintain its reference to its original cells regardless of where you paste it. Therefore, the answer will not change because it will still refer to its original cell range. And this is an example of absolute referencing. When you cut and paste formulas, they maintain their reference to the original cells. Both types of referencing can be very useful to you depending on the type of spreadsheet you're trying to create. However, there are times when creating a single formula with multiple cell references within it that the need arises for some of the references within the formula to be relative references, while others will be absolute references. In this case, it's useful to realize that you can make any cell reference in a formula an absolute reference by simply placing a $sign in front of both the column letter and the row number in the cell reference which you wish to make an absolute reference. So this is handy if you have a cell reference in a formula that you wish to copy to a new location that contains a reference to a cell that you don't want to have change when you copy the formula. For example, pretend that you have a weekly payroll spreadsheet that contains rows for all your employees. The days of the week would be your columns. And let's also assume that you have a formula that adds their weekly hours together at the right of each row. Also assume that to the right of that, you have a column with a wage formula that will multiply these hours for each person times the standard hourly wage, which is in cell F1. If you use an absolute reference to cell F1 in the wage formula, so equals, let's say, H5 times $F, $1. Then if the wage increases, let's say by $1.50, all the values in the formulas will adjust. So you can see we can then choose that cell, copy it, select over where we'd like to paste it, and you can see that if we change F1, let's say we set it back down $1.50, it cascades that effect to all those cells. The F1 reference does not change when made absolute. You can also edit a formula that you've already created to make adjustments to the cell referencing used in the formula. To do this, simply double-click the formula to edit it, and then click and drag over the cell reference in the formula which you'd like to make an absolute reference. Press the F4 key on your keyboard to toggle between the three types of referencing available: absolute, mixed one, in which the row is locked but the column is adjustable. Mix 2, in which the column is locked but the row is adjustable. Or the traditional relative reference. And every time you hit F4 on your keyboard, it will toggle between those types of referencing. Once you have the appropriate reference, go ahead and press Enter on your keyboard or click the green check in the formula bar to enter the editing adjustment.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.